Today I'm going to take you on a journey which will make me, it's win-win, but it'll either be very happy win or it'll be, yeah, made some space. Sort of win. So what we're doing is the engine that came out of the broken Mazda, the one that was crashed. It had one accessory knocked off, but there's still plenty of bolts and plenty of meat on those bolts to be able to work, but it did have a hole in the sump. So the question is, did moisture get in the sump and therefore the engine's stuffed, or is it a good engine? If it's a good engine, this car has about 70,000 Ks on it. This engine, sorry, which is pretty good. So if it's good, I'm happy. We've got an engine to sell that's still good. Or if it's not, well, I'm going to get rid of it and make some space in my shed. So win-win. Let's have a look. But you see all the threads are there, so it's totally repairable. What have we got? Idle, power steering, water pump. Was that the power steering pump down there? Maybe. Got to remember. But there's the hole, right? There's a little hole down here in the sump. That's the concern. What has that done? Has obviously it's been off the ground, everything here, but has it allowed water into the engine at some point? Yeah. So little bits of stuff. Obviously, it was in a crash, so there's bits that are, bits that are still broken, small bits. But if you're going to do an engine swap, you'd transplant a whole heap of your own stuff across anyway. But we're going to take the clutch plate off so we can mount this to the engine stand, and yeah, so that's so much better, right? So here we go. This is the old rear main seal. You can see why it's such a pain to get to, because imagine getting to that when it was in the car. So all those people that ever do one and then complain about it, you can see it's no small thing to get to that. In fact, if you were putting this engine in, if it's all good, which I'm hoping it is, but if this was all good, I'd change that before I chucked it in, just because you're there. I can touch it. If you can touch it, change it. So you don't have to do it again. Alrighty. So now, let's see if I can... No, we'll get a couple more started on that, and then we'll go back to that one. My thinking is these engines are just getting dearer and dearer. I know that they are worth sort of $3,000 to $3,500 for the engine this year at the moment, especially low Ks condition. However, this engine's been in an accident, so I get that as well. And so there is always an element of risk when you buy things like that. So that's why I actually thought I would film this, because I want to be totally transparent, open and honest about everything. So you're seeing it as I see it, and if it's not good, you'll see me throw it out, because I would never sell something that's not, that's not right. If I knew something was wrong, I couldn't in all good character and integrity do anything with it like that. So yeah, it will be up for sale and at a very discounted price. Tap and die, that's where we're up to. But I'll grab that WD. Kabang! An 8mm for the front, 10mm for all the others. That was a dry one. That's interesting. One that had an open top, it's super dry. All the others are like brand new. Pull that cover off. What do we need at the back here? A couple of long ones. That's the one. Starting to go. So far, feeling alright. That looks good to me. Happy, happy. Alrighty. First look, you saw that. This is an unedited cut. Let's have a look. Yes, it's looking good. Let me get some light under there for you. Actually, probably get a better angle with this than what I can with my own eyes, actually. Look at that. I'm seeing no signs at all of rust or anything. If anything, it actually looks like it's still got a bit of oil dripping off the bottom of everything, which is great, right? So that I like. Have a quick look at the sump. There's the hole. There it is, there's the piece. So the engine stopped straight away and nothing got put through it, which is exactly what I was hoping for. This is a good engine, right? Well, at the moment, what I can do, I believe it's a good engine. So, feeling in there. What's that? There's a little bit of grit. I think it's just normal engine grit. It's not like metallic, like, yeah. That's good. That's good. That makes, well, that makes me happy. But I'm not finished because I want to make sure this engine's not just okay, but I want to make sure it's very good. So next I'm going to pull the pistons out and we'll turn it over from the crank, make sure that works. If everything's turning over nicely, then we're good. So let's do that. Nice. So there's not like compression. What's that on? Magnetic and like I want it to. Just yeah, just the compression on it. Really? So just want to make sure it's all good. Change the plugs. If this works, everything's good, I'd definitely change the plugs just to be safe. Having said that, these were brand new plugs when we tuned, but just to be safe, right? A couple of little things. One of them is It's just engine oil, just whatever weight. Drop a little bit down them. What does that mean? Number one, it's going to smoke like crazy when we honestly, that's not much at all. Yes, it's going to smoke, but I just want to lubricate it all. I just don't want to be dry spinning anything. Yeah. That's ridiculous. You got to see this. I don't need that. I need just something even smaller. I thought that was going to be. That's insane. You got to see how easy this spins, right? Let me get some light. So put that on. Look at that. See how freely that spins? How good is that? That's nuts. Let's get some under shots of that, right? So you can see everything spinning. Man, I hope everything's spinning. It's not just broken off, because that could be why it's spinning so freely, or it's absolutely amazing. Look at that. That's nuts. Absolutely flawless. That hasn't been moved for like years. And that's just amazing. I'll spin it just a bit more and I'll leave it for a bit now. That's that's awesome, right? That spins.
The bearings like cooked either.
That's what I mean. Like it's all.
Like I'm giving it some, and then it keeps going. Like it's.
Well, that's sort of the pistons doing their thing.
Like as in it's still got the momentum.
I've taken I've taken the plugs out, so there's no sort of momentum on them, but it's yeah.
I'm just gonna move this stuff, my stuff away.
Yeah, all good, man. Yeah.
There's still more coolant.
That's all right.
Another thing there.
Almost there. Let's step up. I'll go back a bit because it's touching on something. If you can. Bit more. That'll eat. Done. Good job. Thank you. Earrings, that's all. Because some of this stuff hasn't had, hasn't moved. Like it's all moving super well. I just want to make sure it's all, it's all good.
How's that?
Yeah. The engine's actually sold, and that happened really quickly. It actually happened within about 24 hours of putting the engine up for sale. So I thought I'd, originally I made the video to show people with all genuine authenticity the process, but number one, so I don't get lots of messages saying, hey, is this available? But two, just to show the whole process. I'm actually going to package the engine up and ship it off. This is something that I haven't done before. So once again, if you've got ideas, let me know. I'm new to this. I'm just learning as I go. But we've got a few things here. We've drained the engine of its oil and everything, of course. I've got some industrial wrap that we're going to wrap the whole engine in. I'm going to pull off a couple of the broken bits, mostly because it's just weight, all right? It's saving some weight. And a lot of stuff's going to get transposed from the other engine anyway. So we'll put some of that stuff across, take some of that stuff off for weight. We're then going to mount it on a pallet. I've got some cable tie downs, binders and stuff. And then the shipping company that I've been going through wants it boxed in. And so with that, my plan is I put a tyre, an old tyre down. I'll set the engine on the tyre. That'll take some vibrations. I'll tie the tyre down so it can't move, probably just with rope. I'm not going to go too nuts with that. then the engine I will bind down, tarp binders, and I think I'll do the top, but I may also put something on the bottom, so if I can tie the top down, I won't do that, but the bottom could still slip, so I may tie the bottom down. And then I've got some wood to build up a box around it. Then we'll seal it in with some 3-ply to ship this. The pallet cost me nothing. The materials, you could do it for cheap if you're in the industry and you end up, you know, literally this stuff's often just packing, right? It's just stuff they use to pack between stuff. I did buy it though, because I don't work in that industry. And so I did have to purchase this. I reckon all up with the wood, tarp binders are like 20 bucks a set for a cheap set. You know, they can get used again, but it's kind of, I won't see them again, so I didn't want to buy anything crazy quality, but I wanted them to work. They will work. And a bit of wood probably cost me 70, 80 bucks, maybe, all up. I got some screws while I was there, so maybe all up, if I've added everything together, might be 100 bucks to package this thing up. But yeah, anyway, let's get into that. Lots of tie downs on the tube. To get it off, I chuck this on here and lift it up. I'll lift the whole pallet up, but I can actually, if I can extend this out further, I'll extend that and see if I can get it onto there. Maybe need to use a chain to extend it, and that'll help slide it off if I need to slide it onto a pallet jack or something. We'll film it when it's going on the car, but look at it, the engine's going away. If they want us to box it in, one company wanted it to be boxed in. Got wood, got some sheets of ply. We can box that in if they require it. I hope they don't. That'd be a pain in the butt. But anyway, that's it. So the engine's sold. That's the short version of this video, right? The engine that was out of the black Mazda, yeah, that sold real quick. New experience of selling an engine and shipping it and sending it interstate. But this also sort of represents the end of the journey with the MPS. There's no more MPSs, no engines, no cars, nothing. Which I guess the two things that sort of then come up is, you know, what's next, as far as, is there any, you know, what's going to sort of happen in that space with the channel and all those things, which, like, you know, it's, as you know, the last 3 videos have been around, or the last handful of videos have been about family holidays, which is what the channel was always originally about anyway. It was just filming family stuff for prosperity. But, you know, it morphed into a car channel. And look, there is more car stuff coming up. There's lots of videos in the works at the moment for that. But the other thing that it's worth actually noting is that when that black Mazda was crashed, through the church, we had an incredibly generous donation that helped cover a lot of the costs for that car from the injury and accident. And so with that, it doesn't feel right. Like, while I'm still, I was always thousands of dollars out of pocket, I still didn't feel right making money out of that engine, knowing that money had been donated. And so a couple of things that money went into. Number one, it was some of the money went into a trip that'll be coming out in video pretty soon, where my mum and dad and brother and sisters all went to Alice Springs, and it sort of meant that I could be generous and help out financially with some of that. I bought some stuff for my family as a gift, because there's, in this car industry, there is costs involved, and so some of the money went into that. And some of the other money is sort of goes into another little project that I do, which is never publicised, and that's helping people out with cars. And so, that's the money's gone into those things. If it was a normal world, you'd sell the car parts and engine and make some money and cycle that back through, and that's what we've usually done. If I've ever ended up with extra bits, we've cycled it through. But look, the car went to a lovely lady up in Queensland, and here's some video clips of the car actually running with that engine in it. So the mechanic that did the install said that went really well and really smoothly and went great. The lady is super happy with it, which means that I'm happy with it. Shipping took a little bit. There's a little bit of lag with the communication early on. It was a little bit frustrating. It didn't need to be quite as hard as it was, but at the end of the day, it got shipped. When they picked it up, from then on, it was pretty smooth. And yeah, everything's good. That's the end of that journey, and I love that engine lives on. So there's a legacy of that really low K engine, really beautiful engine, out of what was an absolutely beautiful car, lives on, which is great. And so with that, it's the end of a chapter, end of a season, but there is more happening coming up very soon. Like in the next few weeks, I've just been waiting for the weather to fine up a bit to get some video shots. Not, I could just film it and pump out the videos, but you got to wait so long between videos nowadays. I might as well be happy with the clips, with the videos that I do. I just want to get some finishing rolls of some of the stuff, but the ute that I'm driving has had some stuff done to it and has been on a 5,000k road trip, which is all filmed, and I want to share that with you. Fexus is the big one. Lots of questions about Fexus, and yeah, it'll get some loving pretty soon. It's months between when I pick up the tools on that thing, and and then we'll just see what happens, right? I do have a review for one of the King's awning tent. I got a review for that coming out, which would be good, after sort of having it for a year and sort of staying in it through a couple of storms and a couple of things like that. So anyway, so there's a few things coming up, still things about cars coming up. Well, it's not MPS based, there's automotive things everywhere. Anyway, we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.